Daryl Ruiter is brought to you by Shivan Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store. Daryl, you're mad at me.
No, but I am anxious to have you tell me how the world works.
All right. No, you're not supposed to laugh, Daryl. Come on, come after me.
As if I've not done this for 30 years and am absolutely clueless of how things operate.
Oh, tough talking Daryl here. Now, what's the problem, Daryl? I mean,
that's all right. I heard your little rant yesterday. I was amused.
It was more towards tone than it was you, because Lima got me.
I thought I caught a stray. That's all.
I was just kidding with you, Daryl. All right, so Daryl. So yesterday, a couple days ago, boy, we got a lot of stuff to get ready for this season with. Boy, this is going to be the season of dreams. Bailey Zappe. It was announced a couple of days ago that the Browns were. It was reported that the Browns were on the verge of signing and were planning on signing Bailey Zappe, to which Daryl had written that we were just with Glenn Cook. How long were you guys with Glenn Cook before that?
Probably about 10 minutes.
10 minutes with Glenn Cook. 10 good minutes with Glenn Cook. And Glenn mentioned none of it. And I was just making a joke. I said, what you want him to do? Just come right out and say it, Dangerous? I said something like that. And then I didn't know you got hot. And then Lima fought for you. And then it basically turned into a fight with me and Lima yesterday. So I didn't mean to take personal shots at your profession, Daryl. I didn't mean to do that. But I got to tell you, he's a GM. He ain't just going to come out. He's an assistant GM. He ain't going to just come out and say, hey, we're signing Bailey Zappe.
You realize one of the questions was, are you adding a veteran to the practice squad?
They can add lots of veterans to the practice squad.
I know.
But until he signs the line which is dotted, he can't come out and mention them.
And again, these are things I'm very well aware of.
I know.
But that doesn't mean something can't slip out of your mouth when the mics are off.
But then you can't report it if it's off the record.
But, a little heads up would have been nice.
Okay, but then because Lyman was saying that, I go, well, you can't report if it's off the record. Either way, the hell with it. What are you going to do? Sorry, Daryl, I didn't want you to get hot and bothered about it. I didn't want to get you upset.
I love you, Ken.
Yeah, we break balls around here. It's the way it goes. It's an honor to be joined by men. All right, so if Bailey Zappe, I just said, if Bailey Zappe starts before Shedeur Sanders, if you thought the day after Baker Mayfield losing in Denver was something else, this would be beyond. I would lose my voice. I would lose my temper. I may have an aneurysm live on the air. They can't do something like that, can they?
Yeah, well, I was hypothesizing before Kevin Stefanski did tell us that Shedeur Sanders, in fact, will be the emergency number 3 quarterback on game days, which means he will dress. I was on with the midday guys before Stefanski said that, and I hypothesized that, Zappe, similar to the Joe Flacco situation a couple of years ago, right? People forget. When the Browns brought Joe Flacco in 2023, he was brought in on the practice squad, and I think his first 2 or 3 starts were actual practice squad elevations before they moved him to the active 53. So I hypothesized, what if they brought Zappe in as a little bit of an insurance policy? Maybe they, in their head, have a timeline in the front office and the coaching staff. Okay, here's when we're comfortable putting Dillon Gabriel on the field. Here's when we're comfortable putting Shedeur Sanders on the field this coming season. Now, as we know, Ken, things always go sideways with the Browns. The next time their well-drawn-out plan gets executed flawlessly without any extenuating circumstances thrown in the mix outside of their control will be the first. And so I hypothesized that maybe Zappe's your stopgap. Let's say something, I hate to go down this road, but it is reality, right? I mean, you're a play away. Let's say something happens to Joe Flacco, right? Okay, well, Dillon Gabriel's got to go in during the game, depending on how that game goes, whatever. Zappe could step in and start the following week until you get to that timeline where you feel comfortable, where you actually want to start Dillon Gabriel. And believe me, the Browns want to start Dillon Gabriel at some point this season. And the same thing goes with Shedeur. And you're right. The internet will break. The phone lines at the station will break. Everyone will lose their mind if Bailey Zappe ends up starting before Shedeur. And I am convinced we're not going to see Shedeur until late December. It's going to be mop-up duty for that kid. They're going to put him in just for the sake of putting him in. And so I think that's ultimately why they brought back Bailey Zappe. A, knows the system, was here last year, but also two, it's an insurance policy against playing the rookies sooner than maybe the organization wants to.
Daryl Ruiter with us right now with his Cleveland Browns perspective. So, all right, we've gone through the quarterback stuff to death. What are you excited about? Joe, give me something you are pumped about going into the season. Everybody thinks the Browns are going to be bad. Yeah. What is the one thing you can say this team can hang their hat on?
I think the defensive front has the potential to be beyond outstanding. I really do. And look, if the secondary can stay healthy, the defense as a whole will be something that they'll be able to hang their hat on. Will keep them in a lot of games, and then obviously it will be incumbent upon the offense to do just enough to win those games. But I do worry about depth in the secondary. I worry about health in the secondary. But the defensive front, they really appear to be locked and loaded, Anthony. And if they're able to play the way they looked in the preseason and the way they looked in training camp, they're going to be a lot of fun to watch, and fans are going to really enjoy it.
Does that mean?
It's about damn time.
Does that mean we get synchronized dances again?
Well, as we know, nobody celebrates incomplete passes thrown 20 yards over wide receiver's head better than the Cleveland Browns.
It's a mentality, Daryl.
He says that you're not going after him. I call him stiffs. You're coming after me.
It is a mentality, Daryl.
Stiffs.
Ken. Well,
Those guys putting their bodies out on the line, they're going to celebrate. They're going to celebrate. Even if they're down 20 points, they're going to celebrate.
What was it, the game against the Giants? They thought they had a pick six, and there was a flag, and they were all celebrating and dancing in the end zone like they just won the Super Bowl, and the play didn't even matter. I will never forget that image.
Is that the Malik Neighbors game? When Denzel Ward was never on him?
I just remember seeing the pictures on the wire service.
Probably.
Okay.
Yes, you were.
I was.
Is that at home?
It's the second.
It was at home, yeah.
Oh, I was definitely hammered.
Yeah, Denzel Ward. Why would you have him cover, their best player?
It was a week after they beat the Jaguars, and everybody thought they were back. Best team.
Well, if they beat the Bengals in week 1, everyone's going to think they're back. So
hell yeah, you're going to hear Super Bowl Super Browns the entire first segment.
Oh, you better bet your ass.
They beat Joe Burrow again.
And then it's if they don't need any more motivation to go into Baltimore and win. The Ravens going to do the rub Cleveland's nose in the fact they have 2 Super Bowls and all these Hall of Famers, and the Browns are Browns.
No, Daryl, I love the Flacco's playing in that game. Say what you want about Flacco. I love it.
Absolutely. And hey, what if the Browns start 2-0? I'm just saying. Weird stuff happens in sports. Teams that get counted out, like the Browns are counted out this year.
If the Browns start 2-0,
I never rule anything out.
I may do this show. I'm not going to guarantee it.
Are you going to go jump in Lake Erie like Hugh Jackson?
No, I may do this show shirtless with a bow tie on like Chris Farley in the Chippendales.
Yes.
I was going to tell him to dress like Barrel Man.
Actually, you know what? That's what you should dress as. Forget fat guy in a little coat. Ken. For Halloween, you should do Chris Farley Chippendales from Saturday Night Live.
For the whole show?
Yes, and I think that Anthony
Lima... It's going to get cold in here, man. It's late October.
Well,
I might have the headlights on.
You got plenty of insulation. And then
what are you
Lima,
trying to say, Daryl?
I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just coming out and saying it.
No, if you're calling me fat, I mean, I'm fat. That's the way it goes.
Daryl, the Micah Parsons trade. Now, I tried to bring the Myles Garrett situation into it and how it was handled very differently. We kept our guy. They ended up getting the 2 first-round picks and another player. What did you think of it all?
Now, Jerry Jones is one stubborn man, that's for sure. That's my number one takeaway. Secondly, I can't believe that they traded him to an in-conference rival that's a Super Bowl contender. That was shocking part number 2. And 3 was the trade package. Okay, I get it. You get 2 ones, but those ones are going to be in the late 20s, early 30s. So they're almost like second-round picks. And then, so you get a Pro Bowl defensive tackle. But my reaction was, that was it?
So
that's all you got?
So you wouldn't make the trade for Myles Garrett then? The same?
I would. I'm greedy, Ken. I would have wanted 3 ones for Myles. I would have wanted 3 ones.
Man, we're kind of all over the map about this because Daryl Lima agreed with me. Aditi did not. Aditi thought you could get 2 ones for Myles, and she said she'd talked to people who said that they could have got 2 ones for Myles back in the day.
Absolutely.
Not back in the day, but several months ago. See, I wasn't so sure because I'm going, man, 2 ones for Micah Parsons. He's 26.
Yeah.
Miles going to be 30 in December this year, and I got to pay him like 2 ones. I don't know if I'm going to get 2 ones, honestly.
No, I think they could have gotten 2 ones for him, plus more. The conversation needed to start with 2 ones.
Well, then if I'm getting 2 ones, I mean, I'm not trying to be a bastard over here. I mean, he's a fantastic player, and I don't want to share him with any other fan base. Like if he goes on, I don't want him to turn into Saquon Barkley. I don't want to share him with anybody else.
Which, by the way, I'm totally
round,
rooting for Michael Parsons right now in the Packers.
You're talking about 5 first-round picks.
Not against us, Daryl. Not against us. We got him early in the season.
I know. That Green Bay game just got a lot more difficult than it already was.
So you would have channeled, or you would have made your pick, and you would have traded it. Yeah, you would have traded him.
Traded Miles? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a time.
Okay.
I mean, I'm thrilled the Browns kept him, paid him, all that, and that contract already looks like a bargain at $40 million a year. There's been 2 or 3 other contracts, including Parsons, that have surpassed that as far as the defensive players go. But at the time, yeah, I mean, based on what Miles was communicating to everyone with a camera and a microphone, based on the current state of the Browns and their roster building process, they're not contenders. They're not contenders today. They're not going to be contenders until they find that franchise quarterback, which is the point where they're at and what they're going to go through this year. Try and figure out if any of these rookies have anything, which, again, no matter how many games these guys play, I don't know how you can make blatant statements whether or not any of them can be successful or not. It took Josh Allen a couple seasons. Peyton Manning led the world in interceptions his rookie year, right? Mm-hmm. Troy Aikman went 1-15 his rookie year. So I don't know how you can make paint with a broad brush and make a blanket statement whether these guys are going to succeed or fail in the National Football League just based off a couple starts as a rookie, but that's where the Browns find themselves.
We ran a poll. 87% of Browns fans polled said they would not stand for seeing Deshaun Watson with the Cleveland Browns at any point this year. Nick Wilson himself, he called it, quote, not tolerable by the Browns fan base. Your thoughts on Deshaun Watson, the possibilities of him coming back, whether or not he'd play, and how Browns fans would feel.
Would the fans stage a walkout, Daryl?
I don't know if they stage Look, listen, I'm already sick of the Instagram videos. I mean, okay, great. Hopefully he's able to get healthy and whatever, but
then you're not sick of the Instagram video.
Wow, guys just trying
look
to...
at the eraser phrases that
guys trying to earn his money.
I'm trying to be a human being about the thing, too, that's all. I just, I'm not... But I have no interest in watching Deshaun Watson play football for the Cleveland Browns ever again. It does not appeal to me. Give me Bailey Zappi. Give me whoever else you can find.
I will take Bailey Zappi over Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I have no interest in that. And the other thing, too, is I mean, he does look good in the workouts, but those are workouts. Like, how do things look when you're having to react and things like that?
Now, from a football standpoint, I'll tell you this. I don't mean to cut you off, Daryl, but we don't have a lot of time. From a football standpoint, yeah, I think that Deshaun Watson would probably be better than Bailey Zappi. The fans don't want him. I mean, you're talking about an obscenely lopsided. This is Reagan-esque.
It's a $230 million sunk cost.
Yes.
And it ain't our money, so who cares?
And so I'm just like, no, it's to save the fan their time and trouble.
I would
zero this thing out.
Yeah, I would have eyed him for the rest of the year, but I understand why the Browns are doing what they're doing because they almost have to do it. Because of the collective bargaining agreement or whatever. But my worst fear is we're going to see this guy at some point this year, not because we want to see him or the organization wants to put him on the field, but out of necessity. That's my worst fear is we're going to have to watch
the offensive line, though. As long as the offensive line is healthy, I like Luke Whippler if he has to play, but the offensive line's good.
You got 2 tackles with their injury history. They're good players. They're good to great players when they're healthy.
I'm only going on this year.
The problem is they're not healthy.
I'm only going on right now, though. That's all.
I know, but you have to plan for all eventualities. How long have you been around the Browns, Ken? You always have to plan for the eventualities. Now, here, I'm telling you the way it is. There you go.
See, I was going to say, long time and not as long as you. You made that abundantly clear at the beginning of this interview, and I'm suitably chastened now.
You'll be around long after I'm gone.
Sure about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's interesting. All right, Daryl, we thank you very much for the time. All the very best.
Have a good weekend. Enjoy the air show.
See you in hell, Daryl. Daryl Ruiter, brought to you by Scheiben Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store.